All right. Welcome to another episode of Mornings with Movers. We got Country Phil in the building after so many weeks.
Yeah,
Jeez.
yeah.
And I believe Cliff is hopping in any second now. We got Ryan Marsh in the building. Oh, we got a full house. Let's go. Um, all right. So yeah. So it's been a crazy summer. Seems like a lot of people are doing their thing, which is amazing. For those that aren't doing anything, there's some tuning you need to do because you should be doing your thing. I know the housing industry is still taking a hit because I'm looking at my stocks. The housing industry is still, stagnant. So, yeah, what's been going on, Phil?
Family stuff, football, this, that, whatever pertains to an 8-year-old wanting to do, you know.
Got that. How's the company been doing?
We've been doing good, busy. We got a new GM now, so it's been a little bit better, on me and my wife, not being in the office as much, but yeah, we've been doing good. It's definitely not 2 years ago, during COVID, busy, but it's been different. Talking to some other moving company owners, um, you got a lot of really really conservative customers out here, and I don't want to. I'll call them conservatives instead of cheap's asses.
Hey,
You
it is
know,
what it is. Uh, let's see. Ryan, what about you? Woo, what's been going on?
What's up, Dwight? How you been, man?
I've been busy.
I just getting in from Austin, Texas. I didn't land until really late last night. Got home about 2 o'clock this morning. So as you can see, a little tired, a little rough. But yeah, no, it was a great successful team trip. It's always nice we can kind of get the whole band together and have a good time and throw some ideas around and have some hackathons, sort of say, and come out refreshed, recharged to start the upcoming week here.
Yeah, no, I definitely hear that. And Cliff, are you finally there?
I am. I could not hear you guys, so I had to bounce out and come back.
Welcome back. Oh
Thank you.
man,
Thank you. Great seeing you guys.
definitely. And I seen you've been doing your thing with your podcast and everything. How's that going?
It's going great. Yeah, I've been on a mission. I actually did my first challenge on Wednesday as well. And I'm just really having fun coming into my own, going all out.
Okay.
Yeah.
He done left us,
Look at
guys.
me and my boy Ryan matching blue shirts. That's
Hey.
how in synergy we are.
So no, that is great that everybody's doing their own thing. Obviously I've been waiting so long for my other project to finally come out. And hopefully, I ain't gonna jinx it, it'll be done by this week here. So some
Nice.
people in the labor group probably already been seeing that I've been looking for some people to help out in the moving industry. Um, and we just been doing some general recruiting and stuff like that for just contractors, people looking to help out other moving companies for the most part. And hey, make some good money, got some amazing benefits for contractors, and that's a surprise by itself because who offers contractors benefits? You better just come to work and get your job done. Um, but ultimately, yeah, we are doing some big stuff. I'll release more next week or so like that once I know that it's official. But yeah, we are looking for a boatload of contractors, anybody on the East Coast looking to get some work in on a regular basis. And like I said, get some great benefits and get paid pretty much daily or next day. Um,
Nice.
so yeah, that's what I've been working on. And I feel like, geez, between the training aspect of things, I'm helping some clients get their SOPs in place, still working with my current clients to make sure that their business in general is in place. It's been keeping me busy, um, more or less. So
Nice.
so yeah, Ryan, I know was the trip for Supermove or your own personal?
No, it was a couple times a year we do an offsite, right? So we all work remote. And it feels like we all kind of work together on a daily basis anyway, because we're all talking to each other and what have you, but obviously through the computer. So, like I said, anytime we can all kind of get together and, we have a lot of fun, but, we also do a ton of work. So it's almost like bringing everybody together in a particular location. And now that's our headquarters for that week, sort of say. But, we did a lot of community service pieces out there. We met up with some customers, because it's oftentimes it can be difficult to see like some of the things that, between our developers and, everybody behind the scenes, doesn't always get a front row seat of what's it like in the day-to-day operations of a moving company. So they're building products and, from what we're telling them and what they're seeing and what our customers are sharing. But, it's a whole different ballgame when they actually show up and they spend 4 hours with operations and dispatch. They spend 2, 3 hours with sales. They spend a couple hours in person with ownership and leadership and what have you. So, we got to meet, I'd say one of our larger customers, and they shared or it showed us an amazing time. And what I thought was really really cool that they did is they have this upper mezzanine area down in Austin in their warehouse, and there's ping pong tables, pool tables, foosball tables, a full blown gym. Um, some of the things that they do for their guys there, which was neat. But what they did is they had 10 articles or between plates, glassware, kitchen items, and they set this up, and our team split all into 6 groups to basically pack all this stuff in a box, seal it, label it, like pretend we're packers, and then they launch these boxes over like a 15-foot ledge, and then open up the boxes to see how much damage was done, which is pretty cool. And I won the award. I only had one damaged item, but what they did do is because they knew I had the mover experience, they literally launched my box so high. I mean, it was ridiculous. Everybody else they just kind of just tossed over the shelf. They heaved it over their back and just the entire box blew out. And I'm like, I lost everything but one glass cup. So I was pretty impressed. I had 9 out of 10. So
Okay,
That's
okay.
cool.
won the old bell there. Yeah, yeah. It was fun. It brought me back to the
Did you
day.
guys, did you guys record that?
Yeah, oh yeah, we had a videographer basically highlight our entire journey. So yeah, I'll share that with you guys.
Oh,
It's
that's
pretty cool.
awesome. Nice. Thanks, brother.
Well, hey, is it available today? Because you can always share, we can share this
I
live.
don't have it. All I have is the pictures of, and I don't even have. They're in Dropbox or something, which I got to download an app or so. I don't even have Dropbox. I just
Okay, okay.
We'll tell the people watching to stay tuned for next week. That'll give them a reason to come back.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So, Phil, we've been seeing that warehouse. I think, what are you, 75, 85% full now?
Yeah, somewhere around in now.
Because
Yeah,
it
we getting
seems,
there, man.
yeah. So, I guess, is your GM now like just working on his own, or are you still tuning in?
Yeah, somewhat. We're still somewhat tuning in. We ran our business to this point, so letting go was difficult. You
Who's
know,
handling sales? Is Melissa still in sales, or did y'all hire a sales rep?
yeah, Movement Pros pretty much doing all of the calls right now until we get some in-house people. But yeah, we try to keep everything in the family within one. I built this business on family owned and operated, so I want to keep still that genuine phone call instead of a call center kind of feel. But for right now, that's kind of what we got.
Mm-hmm.
Until we get some people in. We had to kind of direct some things, man, because I had moved things around in this building so many times, man. Because we have an upstairs area too where it was an apartment, a full apartment, and so we tore everything out and we made an office up there or two, and then we took all the offices, brought them downstairs, and then we were gonna do that as a training up there, and then now I've scripted back again. Now we're going to do a call center up there on our own, with our own people. But I had to I've moved things around so many times, it's getting annoying. But we're getting it dialed in.
Yeah.
Yeah, for you, Phil.
Yeah.
What's leveraging that call center that you have, and this is something that we've been kind of diving into left and right here. But what are the average closing percentage, would you say? On I don't know what lines you do, but kind of an overarching Out of 10 customers, how many are they closing for you?
Move it, bro. Pretty high because a lot of our clients are some of them are repeats, but
Like 60%, 70%, or
70% would be generous. Yeah. We don't really do a lot of cold, like really cold, because we're generating a lot more from our website than like moving.com or just dead leads or whatever, or Angie or whatever the case may be. So a lot more organic leads is creating a little bit better closing ratio because they are coming from our source instead of, you know, five other moving companies getting it or whatever. But they've been doing a really good job. You know, they've got one person assigned to us that handles all of our calls, so it's not anyone different. And I mean, they do a lot better job than we did collecting inventory. I mean, they go through and they go through and they go through because
Yeah.
our problem was, you know, we were doing everything. You know, from answering the phone to payroll to, you know, micromanaging the movers. And I mean, we got a lot of trucks and a lot of stuff going on, you know, and unfortunately, sometimes you tend to try to rush a customer off the phone trying to move on, you know, phones ringing, especially in summertime. And, but they take the time, man, and they spend the time like we would on the phone, you know. There's a problem that arises where, oh, the customer mentioned a piano on the third floor and they didn't document it, of course. You know, they kind of, the good thing of it is the call is recorded and, you know, clients lie, you know.
Hmm. So I would say it's all like, similar to, I guess what I was hearing is basically you want to keep things fresh. Melissa's been doing sales for probably several years at this point. You've been doing some sales and operational stuff. And it gets to that point where one, people start to get a little burnt out just doing the same thing over and over and over again. And then, you got a lot of, like you said, you got a lot of volume. So it's just like keeping it fresh, having a call center or having your own reps, having room to grow. And I think similar to me, when I had my moving company, it came to a point where my sales manager, who I had, pretty much was my salesperson from day one. So 10 years in, this person is still my salesperson. And it's just like, geez, what can I do for this person? Because I get bored on sales, but I have the ingenuity of being able to do everything. But just to see this person come in every day and just do the same thing, 10 years on end, 10 years on end. And it's just like, okay, there got to be something different we could put this person at so that they can stay fresh. Their mind is fresh. They got something else they're doing, you know. And it's not really, in my opinion, unless you're growing a really, really big operations, it's not very many places you can start to switch people around.
That's it. What we did. I tell you, one, performance-based pay, right? But you got to have metrics, you got to track, and you got to change some things up here a little bit. But also swapping people out in departments all the time, right? So you have a week where I'd work with Dwight for a week, right? Kind of shadow, kind of listen in, see what's going on. And the following week, I'm Dwight. Dwight's now Ryan. We did that quite often to the point where I could jump into ops, dispatch, I could do a pack job, I could run a commercial job, or I could be the GM for the day, or I could go back to Ryan as the sales exec. We did that quite a bit to keep it fresh. And honestly, what it did is it allowed us to find new ways to work and become way, way more efficient because Dwight might have been doing things his way that he's done for 15 years, which worked wonderful. But Cliff came in and saw this little tiny gap and said, you know what? I think I can close this. Different lens, different perspective, and same thing, Then Phil jumps in after Cliff, and Phil's like, "Oh shoot, I found an extra step that Cliff was doing. We can go ahead and kind of slide that out and go in this direction." And all it did was it allowed us to be super lean, super clean, and kind of mix the script up a little bit on everybody. So you
Hmm.
did get bored, but I always found that you do a performance-based pay piece and you incentivize a lot of things. You'd be surprised, not only retention, but people don't get as bored as often as you'd think.
Yeah, and having the right
Yeah.
people in the right seats is definitely crucial. I was, learning when I was learning from Louis Mazzaro and everything, and talking about doing a 7-day follow-up call for customers and then a 2-day follow-up call for customers. And this is after the job has been booked, so that basically you can make sure that hey, everything is going to go on track. They know all the terms and conditions of your services, etc. I think I ran into a challenge where it was just like my operations people were getting burnt out just being on the calls, having to call so many people regularly. They're like, oh, well, hey, here's your 7 day. Oh, here's your 2 day, when they're mainly trying to be focused on just like trying to make sure everything was in order for the jobs, make sure all the equipment was there. So I think we got to end up getting it down to like one call, and I try to do that one call at least a week in advance so that we can make sure that, hey, you know what, we're not getting that customer yelling at us. Why you didn't tell me this a week ago? I could have probably changed it up. This whole 2 day thing is absurd. So I think a week was like that nice spot.
Did any of you guys ever follow up on the opportunities that you lost? So customers that went with another mover, whether it be for a lower price or what have you, did you guys follow up as a best practice to those?
So we had what did you call it? Moversville. And we've always had like that engagement campaign where Moversville would like, oh, well, hey, we see that you didn't book with
Oh, keep
us.
freeze.
It looks like the host froze.
Boo!
All
Oh,
right, ladies and
geez.
gentlemen, we're taking over Dwight Max moving training here.
Yeah.
This is Brian with.
Are you guys still there? Let's see.
Cousin.
Here we
That,
go.
that's so weird.
He knew we were taking over. You had to shut it down. We just we
Ah,
just over the show on you, Dwight.
Man, you froze and you had a booger on your nose too.
damn it.
Uh,
Uh, but no, back to what you were saying, Ryan. So we use Moversville. Moversville reached out to people to tell them, hey, we know you didn't book with us, and kind of like continue to drop value for them. And then after, even after the case, we would still email them like, value building things like, oh, what could you be doing around your house and all this other stuff. So it was kind of like just staying in their mailbox or email box and hoping that, hey, if they didn't have a great move with another person, they're still seeing value from us.
Yeah, that's one thing I love to do. It's, what I knew why I always got the jobs, but what really drove me crazy is, why I did not get the jobs, because I had the relationship with the customer. I built a ton of value. We were always the most expensive mover out there in our market. So I knew, some of it was price, but that was my favorite thing to do is, and I would tag this, flag this in a calendar, set automations, whatever you want to call it. But, ask them about their hot buttons. Hey, I know we didn't move you, right? Cindy Lou or whatever the heck your name is, but how'd that China closet make it with you? Did your Hummel collection make it? Just like hit on the few pieces that they had thrown out to me on that initial survey and throughout the consult calls or what have you. It was just very interesting to see, I should have spent an extra $1,000 and went with you, or my move went absolutely great. Like Ryan, you were great. It was just a difference of price, and it really kind of helped me tighten up the ship and learn even more about my competition, not just their sales side, but how their workforce is as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I thought about post move follow up, but sometimes those, like I said, those I think we talked about this a few weeks ago. Those were nerve wracking because you're like you hope everything went amazing, but I feel like sometimes when you poke the bear, customers like, well, they could have done this a little better.
Well, my thing, I challenge that a little bit is because I mean, why wait till post move to find out how the move's going? Like we check in, packing day a couple times, loading day a couple times, delivery day a couple times. So you know right away how that job's going. It's not like we just didn't check in throughout the job. We didn't just send the crews out, do the work, and then give it 2 days after move, then call and follow up. Like, yeah, to me that definitely can be a little scary because you're just blind as to how your service was. But I mean, I feel like you should know where you're at every single day and every step of the process with the customer. So that follow up should not be scary. I mean, the follow up is another opportunity.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Um, so we did, I think one of our processes were at the end of the move when we clocked the guys out. I don't know how many people still letting their guys clock themselves out, but if they are, I'm sure it's a thing. Um, we clocked our guys out. We asked the customer at that point, hey, you know what? One, let's make sure all the other guys went to the truck. So I'll tell my team leader, hey, did the other guys go out the house? Are they still in the truck doing their thing? Because I just want you and the customer in the room alone. And I'll say, hey, how did your move go? And sometimes the customers weren't afraid to speak up. Oh, well, it went okay, but one of those guys, XYZ guy, he was moving extremely slow, blah, 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 etc. And I'll put my guy on blast. Hey, what happened? Why was that guy moving slow? Like, what was going on? And, he would let me know whatever the case is, and we'll try to make sure that, hey, you know what? If we got to adjust the bill due to a guy being slow, then that's what we'll do right then and there so that, we don't have to have that customer call us back later to tell us that same story.
And you did that while your crew lead and customer were right there?
Yeah.
Wow.
You feel that?
It's better to
Well,
keep.
I just look at like if I had my crew, if I was a consumer, right, and I just went through a pretty not a great experience, but kind of a okay experience, and then I've got the owner of a moving company, whoever's following up with the crew lead there, going, "How is it?" I am probably not going to stay in front of that crew leader, and this is just unless it was an absolute disaster, but more of kind of a respect piece for me. I probably would not say, "Oh, this guy was slow as hell," or "This guy I think really sucks." So we would do it when our guys were not nowhere near. And what we really like to do is send a text to the customer while they're there. Because I mean, that's my thing. Who wants to tattletale on a crew while the crew is still there, right? They're still in your house. And let's face it, I mean, I don't know. I just different strokes for different folks, right? I don't want the customer ever to feel like they were put on the spot of, hey, rate Dwight for me, right? Oh, Dwight was slow. And you're like, you mean I was slow? Like, I don't think I was slow. Like, I don't know. I just feel like that could be a little bit of
Well, it's better than the hearsay where you're now going back and forth with your crew lead and the customer. Like, hey, let me contact my crew lead. Hey, why was John moving slow? Oh, well, Miss Customer, they said that John was moving just fine, and it's just like, I don't want to go back and forth.
I would say 9 out of 10 times that customer says that, Ryan was slow. They were probably right. Ryan was probably a little slow. We all have those crew members when you hear that. Like, but then that's back to that documenting that where so, if you follow up with a
You're like,
bunch of
man, 100
customers.
people now have said the same thing. Huh.
Yeah, like, hey, we've 10 customers has told us Dwight is slow, but Dwight keeps saying I'm not slow. Like, I mean,
Well,
that's where metrics come from, right?
you got John Dwight on the job, right? You got John Dwight and such and such. So John is 21 years old and Dwight is 50 years old.
Damn.
And I don't know why that guy wasn't moving as fast as the other guy. Like, I've got some older members, late 40s, 50s, of course. And sometimes I get a client to call and they're like, well, he just seemed like he got tired after about 10 hours. Really? Huh. Yeah. They did a great job. Anything broke? No, no. They took the time to wrap all my furniture up. I mean, you get it,
Hey, it's not none worse than the ones that say, oh, well, you're moving from a third floor walk down and got to move up to a fourth floor walk up.
I bring out that setting the expectations from the initial walkthrough. It's going to be a long day. The guys are absolutely going to get tired. It's going to be hot. You've got 3 stories of walking furniture. We've got to pay. Again, just goes down to basically spilling what it's going to look like throughout the entire process. And I'd even exaggerate it on the higher end. So when they finish up 9 hours versus 10, when you tell the customer that your guys are going to get tired towards the end of the day, like there's, I don't know. I was super transparent with everything. So
Shoot, Ryan, you ain't say nothing but a word when they talking about, oh, well, hey, we're gonna send you 4 guys because it's a third floor walk down and fourth floor walk up because it's just gonna be more efficient. Well, the last movie they sent me 2 guys. Why do you think you need so many guys?
then you know what?
Right.
You take a 2 guy estimate at that point, and then I will follow up with you 2 days after the move and see how it went. And oh, those 2 guys are still moving you out of your 4-story walk up? Okay, you should have went with my 5 or 6 man crew. Like,
Yeah. We just had somebody like that a few months ago, dude. I remember the lady. I went and did the in-home estimate on it, and it was easily 18,000 pounds. And she was gung-ho on. Let me tell you guys, I counted 100 boxes in the garage, and this was just stuff left over from a previous move of theirs. They hadn't started packing the house. Oh, I'm only going to have 50 boxes. Well, if you already got 100, how are you going to have 50? I said, are we discarding some things? No. Oh, well, two guys moved me in, and I'm like, yeah, they're probably dead. They're
I,
probably dead.
Hey man,
I, I
that
swear,
was
I,
okay. Like
I
it's
would
okay to
love it
say no.
if one of you would make a book of customers you love to hate. Because I would read that thing. I'm not even a moving owner, but I would read that thing.
Cliff, I've got a scheduled podcast coming up of very, very similar to what you're saying. It's not a book, but it's a podcast with a bunch of folks on there basically telling war stories of craziest customer
Right.
interactions, craziest experiences, and some kind of heartbreaking ones as well. But yeah,
Ooh,
and this all just kind of stemmed up from something like this of talking about like just good old war stories, man.
I got to check that podcast out. Do you know the name of it?
I don't have a title for it yet, but it's Humans of Moving is the name of the podcast. It's on
Okay,
Spotify.
nice.
Yeah, no, it's definitely been some horror stories where customers have you yelling, coming out of character, and I try to hone in on that where I'm just like, don't let them come out of character, like, and then they hit you with that, oh, well, you're supposed to be the professional here, and you're yelling at us. Well, first, we're human first, and I get that we're supposed to be a level of professional, but I'll be damned if I'm just gonna keep letting you scream at me and not either hang up or try to see if I can find some reason in this conversation where we can kind of like, and I try to understand that, hey, you're not mad at me, you're mad at the situation, but it seems like you ain't trying to calm down either.
Exactly. People are unrealistic, bro. When
Those are fun. You guys, do you ever find those ones fun? I know I'm weird, right? So you guys are like, this guy's absolutely batshit crazy. But the ones that would, if I ever heard our move coordinator or sales rep like get into any type of argumentative tone, give me that call. Give me that call. I loved it. And when they would just blast me in one ear and out the other, it was like, yep, you're 100% right. If I was in your shoes, I would feel not only how you do, but probably 10x even more mad. I'd be pissed. I'd flip that damn script on them to the point where they're like, oh, I'm so sorry. Like, I'm so sorry you have to deal with this. They'd be apologizing to me after our crew just destroyed their entire move. But back to
Yeah,
back to
yeah,
tactics, right? Like I always loved a good challenge. And how do you take somebody that's in a really emotional, crazy state at the moment, right? And just get
yep.
them to, I mean, this is where Cliff shines, right? We've had plenty
Oh
of
yeah.
calls from driving, I'm vetting the Cliff, and next thing you know, I'm like, I'm apologizing to Cliff, and I'm just trying to tell him a story about my life here. I'm like, how is this? How'd you do that, Cliff? But no, I always thought that
Trading lots and lots of women on how to lose weight. You want to talk
Yeah.
about stress? They don't come in happy. I'll tell you that much.
Cliff, tell us that Miss Lewis story and how you calmed her down.
Yeah, I actually got really, really pissed off. I don't know if you're talking about an actual situation, but there was one. I did exactly what you did, Ryan. I got angry with them, and it takes them to a calmer boat. They go like, "Oh, it's okay. It's not that bad. They did this thing good and this thing good and this thing over here good." And I'm like, "All right, we're moving in the right direction again."
a lot of
Yeah,
times what is triggering them is something this big, but just that compounding of all these little pinpricks that just turns into this. But get them peel back that onion a little bit, and I guess that's the other thing too is taking the ego out of it. Like we're gonna make mistakes, we're gonna screw up. Our guys are gonna have bad days. Shoot, ownership's gonna have bad days, right? Everybody has bad
Yep.
days, but the
mhm.
ability to eat it and be like, yeah, we effed up big time.
Yeah.
I'm
So
thankful you're not even more mad at me at this point, even though
yeah,
you
so
know to the screen, but.
yeah, so Cliff watered that story down for y'all that's listening, because that story was hilarious. And basically, in short, it was to that point where, like Cliff mentioned, he got, get mad with the customer so that basically they're on the same playing field. And I guess was it one of the guys messed up? And he was like, I can't
Oh
believe
yeah.
it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It sucks.
He's like,
Like,
he did
oh my
what?
goodness, it sucks. Talking about poking a bear. Yeah, I know the feeling.
Hey guys, I hate to cut you guys short, but I got to jump off. I got another meeting right behind this one, guys.
All
Sorry.
right,
All
so
right, my brother.
everybody, we are at the top of the 30 minute marker, so like that. So we actually cut these episodes down a little bit. So we'll have Cliff. You want to take us home?
Yeah, I just want to say so much knowledge and wisdom and insight to take from all of you as we go through this process. And attitude's everything. Have a good attitude, have a shit attitude. Just have the attitude you want to have and expect the consequences that you're going to get.
Ryan, anything on the end?
No, I'm gonna echo Cliff, man. It's just attitude and effort. The only two things I ask for. You show up every day with a good attitude, show up putting forth the best efforts you can, things are gonna go in the right direction, you'd think. But and don't ever piss Cliff off.
Country Phil.
Hey, everybody, have a good week coming up. Spend some time with your kids, your wife, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your family. Spend some time with them. Don't let work get in the way, because work ain't gonna love you no more than your family is.
Nope. So, hey, everybody, you heard it from the greats. Go out there, keep crushing it. Get those SOPs in place so that basically you don't have to be in the office all day long. Get that work-life balance. Cut it off at like 5 p.m. every day and spend time with your family, because at the end of the day, this is just a business and money's going to come and go. So, all right, Todd, take care.
Be good, guys.
Have a great one.